Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's September 1st, 2023. It's time for a garden update. I'm going to start outside of the Western Garden plot. I know the sun's up there now, so hopefully you'll still be able to see. So end of last year, we hauled a lot of sand from the beaver ponds, and we created a good outer wall to support the kennel panel, chain link fencing panels that we put in, and there's several videos going over how we did that. We did put a weed mat underneath it to help deal with some of the weeds, and the sand, every time it rains, it easily erodes and all, so we took a lot of our cover crop white clover seeds, Thea did, and planted those all around the base, so that worked out. Also some of the black-eyed Susan seeds, planted those. So in some areas it turned out really well. Other areas we got more weed competition, and Thea did do some weeding in here, but there's more that needs to be done. So we want to try and keep the weeds from making their way into the garden area there, in which this one is starting to do. And so we got our work around here to try and get the bindweed. The grass is under control, so it isn't creating more issues. Thea's been real busy processing peaches. Today she got the last of the blueberries. I didn't realize it in our smoothie. She says, oh, I went out and grabbed some blueberries this morning, which there aren't as many because the bird population's has first choice with them. They're here all the time. And not a lot has happened in here in the Western Garden plot, but we'll take a quick look. And I haven't weeded, so see more of the bindweed popping up there. So these are the hiscaps or the honeyberry plants. They're starting to catch on, I guess. I have more people asking about them. They are delicious. The blueberry plants, there's still a bunch of blueberries. I see in a couple of these blueberry plants here. More late season varieties. Doing well. I need to do some weeding in here. There's lots of things I need to do. And of course, the leaves in the forest are dropping. A lot of the leaves in here. Something happened to part of this blueberry bush here. We'll have to see. It's still viable, but I don't know what shocked that. And as you can see, I got lots of weeding to do here. So blueberries have been a super success. Honeyberries have been pretty good. The thornless blackberry plants, I think they're doing pretty well. Got a couple that don't look so great down in here in the base along the drip lines here. But this time of year they do have some issues, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. And we absolutely love, and Thea harvested some of the thornless blackberries, and they are fantastic. So I got a weed. I'll use a collinear hoe underneath the drip tapes themselves, and then I'll use the tilther to come right down the center. Only takes me, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes to come in and weed this area when I get the time, or rather when I make the time. So that's our Western Garden plot. And there's weeds in here, and staples still in here. So this is one of our later late season varieties, and man, there's weeds coming right up all over in here. We need a couple more of us, I guess, to stay on top of these things. I'm going to close up this gate now because I got to head out into the forest here in a minute as soon as I get done making this video. So I'm giving the area that I was working in, felling the trees that I posted videos on, a bit of a break because it's still pretty wet over there. And I'm working over next to base camp on the new property that we purchased. I tried filming some video over there yesterday, but the noise of the excavator was a little bit too loud and overbearing on my voice, and I didn't want to dub on top of it. So here we are in the Central Garden plot. You can see the comfrey. That's the third growth phase of the comfrey here, doing really, really well. Some weeds in there, some Pennsylvania smartweed. So here's Pennsylvania smartweed here. The bees are in here taking care of all of our squash plants. So this is the row of acorn squash. There's some of them down in here. And I think it only started off with like 4 or maybe 5 of them. And Thea's been harvesting the tomatoes, the San Marzano tomatoes. Down there at the other end, I may walk around there, but I'll show you down here. Here's some of the butternut squash along in here. And it's just working its way right out into the yard here. And there's a blue Hubbard there, a young blue Hubbard. There's several blue Hubbards. So this is a blue Hubbard patch in here. Used to be a watermelon plant in there, but the deer really like those a lot. And there used to be honey melons over in here. And somebody has been eating some of those vines, I see. I don't see the deer in here as much as other places, so you can see somebody's been nibbling, and over in here as well. But it looks like we're going to have quite a bit of butternut squash and plenty of acorn squash. Our neighbor's crop did not turn out, so there's a couple more blue Hubbards right in there. And try not to break any of these. Yeah. I know that I could see when I was driving by here some of the, there's another butternut there. I could see some of the sweet Georgia candy squash. No, I don't. Okay, here's one over here. But they're in here unless somebody came and got them. They're all intermixed in here, to tell you the truth. But when you see this leaf pattern right here, so this is the leaf of a sweet Georgia candy squash. Okay, there's one down there. There's 2 of them there next to each other. They are delicious. And I do enjoy the butternut squash as well. Acorn squash, love that. We used to grow lots of squash back in the day, but not so much anymore. There's just a few seeds put in late in the season after we terminated the cover crop with the flail mower. And there's videos on that as we did it. Now we're into the eastern garden plot. The scarlet red runner beans have grown very well, with the exception of the area that so here's our hoop trellis here with the scarlet red runner beans, and they're starting to mature. We love the big beans, so easy to haul and take care of. And I see some clover up in here, but not too much. So I'll have to redo this trail in here and try and get nice clover in here. And of course the clover is done really well in the areas that got lots of sun and all, but it's not perfect yet. So I've got to do some weed whacking up these aisles and reseed these areas. So really, this was the garlic bed, and this is soybean that's dominating the bed right here. There is winter rye down there that's getting choked out, not enough sunlight for them. Here's the raspberry plants here. We got 2 rows of raspberry plants. I got a weed whack in between these, and we need to sheet mulch these 2 beds. This is where the Dutch red shallots were, which didn't have a great crop. And again, this whole area is shady. So we put the winter rye in with the soybean. So this is a better ratio of the soybean to the winter rye. doing okay. This is where our russet potatoes were, and I haven't reseeded this yet. I'm a little behind on things. And I'm really not looking forward to mowing. Some of the places it's up to my hip, which means I've got to go over it twice or maybe even 3 times, which means 3 to 4 days of steady mowing, 10 hours a day. Okay, obviously I did not get over here to the sweet potatoes and pull out any of these tomato plants and all. And the sweet potatoes still are doing great here. You can see some of the flowers starting. And we're real lucky the deer didn't jump the fence this year to come in here, but it's sort of a ways back from down there. And the white clover has done great over here. And here I've got these grasses going to seed. That's got to be dealt with. So let's take a walk down here. Thea came through and did some more weeding of the strawberry bed. And we have a small maple there, that's okay. Small honey locust there. Over here we got the foxglove. And oh, that's butterfly milkweed here. Real tiny little ones, so we'll see if they survive and do okay. Pretty fragile. And then over there the hiscaps or the honeyberries. And so it's pretty soon have to start doing some propagating some more. And I'm going to end up clearing out some of these beds with the oak trees in it. So we only got a couple of white oaks over here that are doing well. Half a dozen to a dozen of the swamp white oaks here. Same thing here. We got a nice little maple started. But you can see I got lots of weeds in here, dockweed. Get those roots out of there. And the grasses. And again, these are all swamp white oaks. So pretty soon, now that it's getting to fall, it's time to go ahead and move some of these plants and get some of our seed, our peach pits put in here. Maybe if we get a chance, maybe some of the persimmons, maybe some of the apples. We'll see. And our chestnuts over here, doing okay. The kale, doing great as usual. Honey locusts in here, more honey locusts. These are the English oaks. Those English oaks that I transplanted early in the season in different parts of the property, they are really holding their own, doing great. Really happy with them. And so these guys are all doing good. And it looks like we got a volunteer tomato here. Nothing really new over here. We got a second growth of the thyme going on over here. The sage has been doing fantastic. The lavender has been doing pretty darn well. So now we'll take a quick walk up front to where the Japanese maple plants, irises, and fiddlehead ferns are. This is a bed we started this summer. Late spring, or well, it was actually summer and all. And one of these days, she's going to have to make a video to show some of the projects she's been working on. She's just been filling up freezers and dehydrating foods, all of those sorts of things. And this is the Harbor Freight in here. She's going to have to make a video and go through this, but this is one of her little paradises besides the nursery area and all. You can see some of the cats in here. So almost at the front garden here. So here we are with the front garden. Thyme is doing a second growth again. It's always amazing. The oregano is going to seed here now. Irises have been doing fantastic. A lot of these irises came from my brother. Shout out to Jim. Thank you very much for them. Thea comes out and regularly weeds out in here. So we got some volunteer honey locusts. We'll pot those up, or we'll put them out into the forest. We'll probably end up potting them up because I don't really have the time. Hostas are doing really well. Fiddlehead ferns are doing fine. We'll look forward to those next season. The maples, for taking this season, taking hits this season, really not doing too bad at all. And Thea got some sedums the other day, so there's some sedums in here as well. And another one here. And so I'd really like to get more irises in here and get some tulips. I just love tulips. Every place we had probably a few thousand tulips that we had around all the different trees, but they all got consumed, unfortunately. And you sort of have to stay on top of those. And so we might be able to do that here. I really love the tulips, so maybe this fall we'll find a source for some good tulip bulbs for our geographic location. So that's it for our garden tour this week. We're pretty happy with how things are looking so far. Like I say, it's been crazy here, but it does give us a great deal of enjoyment to spend time. Thea loves being on her knees in the garden. Oh, there she is. Say hi, hon.
Hi, you're doing a video. Yay! I'm going to show you a blooming flower in the little mini greenhouse.
Okay. Do you want to do a separate video on that, or?
No, we can go together.
Oh boy. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
This is a surprise appearance by my sweet young bride.
I heard you out the window.
Ah, there you go.
This is the mini greenhouse.
Oh boy.
Someday Kevin's going to build me a bigger one that's 12 by 12 and have all special things in here. You think?
Someday.
Someday. But look.
Oh, beautiful
Isn't
orchid.
that gorgeous? Yeah, that's blooming. And this is a Hoya Bella, and it just trails all over. It's doing really good. And this is an onion. And look, it's making a call.
Oh, it's beautiful, honey.
So you can show everybody all these.
Ah, you should make a video yourself,
Oh,
honey.
I will.
Oh, you should. We'll
And
just
look,
take a quick peek around here.
This is 2 other onions, and you see how they're trailing up there?
Just amazing.
I knew you'd love it.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
Good
folks.
to see you guys. I'll make a video sometime.
Sometime. Hey, you got to make a comment and let it force her. So that's it for today's video. I hope you folks found something enjoyable in it. We enjoy being outside. Now I got to get out to the forest and get some work done. Thanks so much. Stay safe and take good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
Bye. Keep smiling.